Hi, Mikhail Makanov here, Chief Consultant with Moment Controls Corp. In this presentation, I'll be demonstrating the demand response feature of a networked light management system. I'll be using the Encellium light management system and its Polaris software as a means of explaining this feature. There are commonly 6 energy saving strategies that are inherent to light management systems of today. These energy saving strategies are namely daylight harvesting, occupancy sensing, time scheduling, personal control, task tuning, and load shedding. For this demonstration, we'll be only focusing on the load shedding aspect, also called demand response. Before a demand response shed can be initiated, we first have to identify and create the various groups. The groups can be considered dimming priorities, with the first priorities dimming first and the last priorities dimming last. Ideally, you want the first priorities, i.e. the rooms to dim first, be the rooms that have access to sunlight, meaning the external rooms. Then the second priority may be the open offices. Third priority could be the corridors. And the last priority could be the internal rooms that have little or no sunlight access. In this illustration, I've pointed out one room that's external, and I'm calling this the external group. Note that the image to the left has this one group that I created called the external room group. Ideally, all external rooms would be assigned to this group. However, for our purposes, we only created one room to represent this external group. Note that the gradient of the slope has nothing to do with how fast or how slow the lights dim. From 0 dim to 99% dim takes about 15 minutes. So it's a slow and nice gradual dim that's not intrusive to the occupants. Note that the dimming goes down to only 99%. Demand response load shedding is not designed to turn fixtures off, but dim it to its minimum of 1%. The image to the right shows various other groups that have been added for illustrative purposes. I've added the open offices group and the corridors group. Note that the first priority in this case would be the external room because it's closest to the 0 point of the x-axis. Moving to the right, the next one would be the open offices, which dims to a maximum of 40%. Then, lastly, it will be the corridors priority, which dims to a maximum of 20%. First priority, second priority, third priority. Let's start the shed. Now, we're using the sound room here as an example for external group. Selecting the module that controls the lights in that group, and we're going to the settings so that we can alter or initiate the shed. We use the fixture that's consuming 50 watts, right? You can use whatever, but we're using 50 watts for this example, and the demand sheddable is 38 watts, right? The savings is 0 at this point. We haven't started the shed. So to start it, we hit the add entry, and we're going to enter the maximum demand sheddable available, which is 38 watts. This here you can enter percentage, but we're going to use the wattage. So we enter 38 watts, we hit update. And then give it some time, you'll watch and you'll see the consumption will drop, the savings will increase as the fixtures start to dim. Again, this happens over a 15-minute period, but I'm going to speed the video up so we don't have to sit here the entire 15 minutes and watch it. So you see the savings is increasing, the consumption is dropping, and the background of the floor plan, if you notice, the color is also changing in the background as it goes from green all the way up to red. So give it some time and you'll see the savings increase as the fixtures dim via this demand response initiation, and the consumption is dropping. Let's give it some time. You watch it. It's dimming. It's dimming. All right, so the savings is increasing as it dims. Consumption is reducing. Right, it won't go fully to the 0 of the consumption because it needs the difference between that 50 watt and the 38 watts is the power needed to power the electronics of the driver and the fixture, right, to have it do its thing. So it's not going to be, you won't have the exact 50 watts available, right? In this case, we had 38 watts available. Now you see, we've reached the target of savings 38 watts. right? And the consumption is at 12 watts. That's 12 watts I talked to you about using to power the electronics. It won't go all the way down to zero, right? So we look right here at the calculated savings, almost 38 watts. It doesn't go fully 38 watts because, as we said, it's 99% is the maximum dim. That's allowable by the setting of a load shedding. So to end the shed, we do the opposite, right? We hit this red X to initiate the end of the shed. So hit the X and then give it some time and it will start to go in the opposite direction, right? The savings will decrease now as the fixtures get brighter and the consumption will increase. Again, this happens over a 15-minute period, but I can speed the video up so we don't have to sit here the entire time, right? The color is changing at the background, you can see. And then once we're at 50 watt consumption, there's no savings. So we're back to where we were before. So this is how you initiate a manual shed. Thank you. Mikhail Makanov here again with Moment Controls. I hope this video was informative in showing you how to use a light management system to initiate a manual load shed.